Welcome to Atheon Analytics Tutorials. In this video we're going to be looking at how to use the pie chart in Omniscope. At the moment we're looking at a big table of data, and we know it's a table view partly because it looks like one, and also because up in the top left it tells us that the visualization we're looking at is the table view. If we click on this drop down menu we can see the various different options we have. So I'm now going to select the pie view and you'll see the screen immediately changes to a pie chart. In a pie chart, the two most important things to take note of is firstly the blue bar up in the top right of the screen. This tells you how many records of data you're looking at, because when you're looking at a pie chart you don't really know whether you're looking at 2 records of data or 10 million. So the blue bar is telling us how much data. And secondly, what are we looking at? Well, we can see there's two drop down menus across the view tools bar on the top. First one tells us that we're looking at the number of records currently, so the number of rows of data, and it's split by the column called product type. So this is the default that the pie chart's opened up to. So we have two drop downs, and this is the way we're going to navigate and use the pie chart. The first of these is the value or the measure. So any field which has a value in the data or can be divided into segments. So we're going to change this from the number of rows of data or the number of records, and perhaps I'm interested in the sales value. So by clicking on sales, we can now see the pie chart is split by the value or measure sales. Now I'm not interested in splitting it by product type, so again using the drop down menu I'm going to change the splits from product type to subcategory. So the split is essentially any field which can create segments in the pie. So now we've got sales divided by split by subcategory, and we know from the blue bar that we're looking at all of our data. And that's pretty much all we need to know about the pie chart. Very, very easy to use, the simplest of any of the views in Omniscope. Just remember the blue bar, how much data we're looking at. We give it a measure that we want to divide, and then a category of data by which we can split the pie chart. So you can see here quite simply, instant coffee now is our biggest selling area, and followed by plain tea in terms of categories. That would be quite simple though, so I'm just going to show you a few more advanced features in the pie chart. You may notice up in the top left here and the bottom right of the screen there's something that says pane none. Not too intuitive, but paning allows us to split the screen by another measure. So let's do it. So using the pane bar in the bottom right of the screen, if I choose to pane or split the screen by the column in the data called year, you can now see what's happened. We've split the screen. We have 2005 data over on the left and 2006 data on the right hand side. So depending on how many years there are in a particular data set will determine how many pie charts there are. There are 2 years in this case, and hence 2 pie charts. And if we want to, we can split the data further. So I can see from my categories of data, the filters on the right hand side, that in this particular data set I have data which is decaffeinated and which is not decaffeinated. So perhaps I want to split those out even further. So this time, using the pane by option in the top left, I'm going to pane by the column called decaffeinated. And again we can see what's happened here. We've got labels on the left hand side on the y-axis. So I can see up at the top I've got my decaf sales year on year, and at the bottom I've got my non-decaf sales again year on year. And of course we can filter the data. So if I only want to look at perhaps certain weeks of data now, I can filter by using the sliding bar up on the top right hand side. So here I'm just looking at weeks 1 to 11 within my data, and maybe I only want coffee products, so I'm going to select my ground coffee, instant coffee and whiteners. So any views that we have in Omniscope, obviously we can filter and look at subsets of the data at any time. Lastly, it's always worth pointing out the tools option on the view toolbar. From tools we can do a number of things. So we can change the formatting, the size of the text, the colours and background images, that kind of thing, so we can make the report look and feel like it's branded in some way. So always worth having a look in the tools section if you want to change formatting for specific screen sizes.